to Mariana Diaz-Kraus, who's hailing from Colombia. I thought initially she was in Bogota, but she is somewhere in the jungle outside. Mariana is from an organization, it's called Movilizatoria, which is an organization that she's going to talk about. She has used her skills and her very impressive education in the field of, legal studies, politics, mediation, and all sorts of things to build up or to help to build up a sensible ways of how to create social transformation also through digital means. And I'm looking very much forward to listening to her. Mariana, are you on?
I was trying to unmute. Good morning. How are you? So first of all, thank you so much for the space. I'm Mariana Diaz-Kraus. I am partner and I'm the Institutional and Strategic Alliance Director at Movilizatorio. We could move on from that slide. Movilizatorio is a citizen engagement and social innovation lab for Latin America. And what we seek is to actually strengthen collective leadership as the engine of social transformation. So this links directly with what we were talking about before, is the importance of the individual and each citizen, that engine of change that we all can be. So to do this, we use different types of tools. So we use technology, innovation, strategic alliances that are very important, especially in a context as Colombia, and communications and strategy. And for achieving social transformation and social change, we realize that that it requires comprehensive measures. So we have 4 strategic lines of work. So we concentrate on leadership improvement and development, awareness and communication, mobilization and activism, and generation knowledge. Could we go on to the next slide, please? So our pillars are to work with everything that's digital, technology, research, articulated work, having a strategic vision. Next slide, please. The types of impact that we want to have with our work is that we want to have impact in different spheres. So we want to impact imaginaries. We want to activate new narratives and perceptions. We want to impact behavior, have individual transformations, so these can become collective transformations. Of course, we want to impact public policies. We want to be innovative and create new solutions and products. And especially in the case of Colombia, it's very important to actually get to the point of impacting cultural change, getting that change of systemic and social norms. Next one, please. So social media activism is a broad category, as we all know, of activism that utilizes media and communication technologies for social and political movements. So we also have a very broad. We are a very young organization. We only have 4.5 years of experience, but we have been very nerdy and working very, very hard in Colombia. And right now we're in Colombia, Mexico, and Argentina. And I'm going to show you just a few examples of what we do. Next one, please. So the first example of what we do is, and that it's really like one of the nooks of our social activism, is El Avispero. El avispero is a very rough translation of a wasp nest. So this is a community of agents of change. And in this community, we seek to promote initiatives and campaigns that encourage citizens' leadership. So the objective is to actually articulate and be able to concrete actions to build a diverse, active, solidary, and sustainable Colombia. With this community of agents of change, we have nowadays more than 100,000 people connected. We have more than 1,500 leaders in specific themes connected through special topic chats. We have been able to move more than 1,500 citizen proposals to different issues. We have been able to create incidents and impact the National Development Plan with actually citizen proposals from young people on how education should look like for the next years. We, in the middle of the national strikes, we were able to organize people, and our logo is always to go from protest to proposal. So don't stay only on the protest side, but use your engine as a power of change and go to propose things. So we actually, with our movement and with different organizations, we were able to push forward the signing of the ECASU peace agreement. Next slide, please. We were able to participate in all different tables at the great national conversation that rose above because of the national strike that came about in the end of 2019. We use different types of innovative technology to actually get more incidents and push forward different types of activism and advocating different things. And in this example of the green agenda just is a very good example of how effective it has been. So we got the ECASU agreement, we got Colombia to actually declare a climate emergency, which is one of the first countries in Latin America to actually declare it. Next slide. So this is a different example. Amina, next slide, please. So this Colombia is a very big initiative that is roughly translated as Colombia Cares for Colombia, that started last year in March when the quarantines in Colombia started because of COVID-19. So this is an alliance between private sector and social society to connect and articulate people, organizations, foundations, companies, every actor that could actually give to actually mitigate the impact of COVID-19. Firstly, in food security and health. Nowadays, we're doing a lot more also in productivity, employment, and education, and to help actually the most vulnerable populations of the country. And also the very significant change of this alliance was that we also concentrated a lot in how we could actually generate social tissue that will transcend the crisis and actually get people to get Colombia and society to generate that social transformation. So we were able to give approximately more than 29,000 kilograms of food, benefiting more than 1 million people across the country. We created the first in the 1st of May, we created the first multi-platform event that ever has existed in the country, where every media company in the country came together and we shared primetime TV space. We have also had a lot of impact in health issues. So this has been and this has also given the opportunity for the beginning of other initiatives as for sustainable climate, well-being, and other things. Next slide, please. And this is an example of, I wanted to give you like a very broad spectrum of different things we could do. And this was let's tone it down a bit. It's called in Spanish, bajémosle al tonito. This was a virtual test that could actually, in 12 easy questions that you could take on any virtual platform, could give you a diagnosis if you had maybe a problem with anger. And it gave you in a very easy way and very day-to-day questions, like you come home and you figure out that you are locked out. What do? You scream, you just sigh, you go back, and it just gives you makes you conscious if you have a problem of aggressiveness. And not only do we go to the point of making you conscious of this, but we gave you the opportunity to receive treatment, and we retested to see if that behavior had changed. This test was super successful in Colombia. It became viral in less than 72 hours. More than 18,000 people took it. It was accompanied, of course, by a very successful media campaign, social media campaign, and this was concentrated for peace building. So it was to actually make you more conscious of how open you were to being tolerant and to reconciliation, and how you could actually build peace by being more passive and being more open from your individual phase to the next phase. And our last example.
Yeah, that's great, Mariana. We have like about a minute. Yeah, like
exactly. From saying to doing, that actually changes up and mixes the online and the offline. So this was actually social innovation and how to help people and empower people through online and offline and methodologies, so that actually they could change their context. Last slide, please. So this is just our one of our mottos, and this is, we never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. So that is what we could do, and especially through the use of technology nowadays, all of us can be actually these change makers. Thank you.